Thank you. The National Resistance Movement Secretary General end of year press conference is today being held at our head office, and we communicate as follows. On the issue of terror threats in Kampala, capital city, and the country, the National Resistance Movement joins government and the people of Uganda, and indeed the international community, to condemn in no certain terms the brutal but cowardly twin explosions that occurred within the prison of the central business district of Kampala, capital city, in the morning of Tuesday, 16 November 2021. This diabolic act affirms the terrorist anti-people ideology, and as history has always shown, these actions have emboldened Ugandans to resist them by assisting the National Resistance Movement government in flushing them out of humanity and to where they belong. At an appropriate time, we believe that the security forces will come and update the nation about the ongoing operations against ADF and their allies. We thank the Uganda security forces and especially the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for restoring calm and peace in the country and in the city. We condole with the families of those innocent souls who lost their lives in the face of this wanton brutality, and also wish the quickest recovery to those who got physically injured and mentally traumatized during this attack. The National Resistance Movement stands in solidarity with the security apparatus and all personnel for keeping the country peaceful and secure. Therefore, the sometimes untold story of your brave, historic, and patriotic deeds in defense of a country with no good unrewarded, will not go unrewarded. I appeal to the country to be more calm and remain vigilant at the times of this festive period. Please report any suspicious person and abandoned luggages to the nearest police station and security unit. We should, as a matter of urgency, collaborate with security agencies at all times, especially as we enter the festive season and we join the rest of the country to celebrate Christmas. On the second item of this communication is on the resolution of the Fourth Central Executive Committee, SEC of the National Resistance Movement. The seventh ordinary meeting of the Fourth Central Executive Committee, which was held on the 5th November 2021, resolves as follows. 1. To extend the leadership position of executive committees of all structures of the National Resistance Movement mainstream. 2. The Central Executive Committee also resolved to extend the term of office of executive committees of all structures of the special interest group. In the same meeting, the Central Executive Committee of the party also extends the term of office of special nominated members of the Central Executive Committee. This resolution was pursuant to the provisions of the Political Party and Organization Conduct of Meetings and Elections Regulation 2020, which was approved by Parliament of the Republic of Uganda on the 9th July 2020, specifically to enable political parties and organizations to conduct their activities, including internal elections within the COVID-19 guidelines that should protect the public. For the avoidance of doubt, the term of leadership positions mentioned above is effective from the 20th of November 2021 to the 20th of May 2022, The terms of office of our structures have been extended for more 6 months. I repeat, our leaders in the various positions of leadership of the party, their terms of office have been extended by the Central Executive Committee for another 6 months. That started from the 20th of November 2021 to the 20th of May 2022. As you are aware, the government of the Republic of Uganda has committed to opening up the economy in January 2022 following its assessment of the management of the COVID-19 pandemic in the country. Once the economy is open, as expected, the Electoral Commission of NRM will roll out a roadmap for a holding of internal elections within the structures of the national resistance movement, from the village branch right up to the national level. Once the economy is fully open, our Electoral Commission will come up with a roadmap to conduct internal structure elections. During these internal elections, approximately 2.5 million leaders will be elected in the 2.5 positions within the party. This position comprises of the following, because we have been getting concerns, people are doubting the capacity of NRM. We have 70,626 villages in Uganda. In all these villages, we have 30 leaders, meaning at the village level, the NRM party has 2.1 million leaders. At the parish, we have 10,595 parishes in Uganda. You multiply that times the number of leaders we have at parish level, we shall have 317,850 leaders elected at parish level. At sub-counties, we have 2,189 sub-counties in Uganda. When we elect leaders at these sub-counties, we shall have 87,560 leaders at sub-county level. Municipalities, city divisions, we have 56 of them. When we elect leaders in these positions, we shall have 2,240 leaders. Districts, within the NRM, we have 151 districts, and every district, if it's to elect it, we shall have 6,040 leaders at the district level. At the national level, we have 40 positions, and this will form 40. In total, we shall be electing 2.5 million leaders of the party. And that tells you the magnitude and the heaviness of the party at the structure level. All these leaders are tasked with the responsibilities to mobilize for the party. And all these leaders are registered voters in the national register of the National Electoral Commission. The second part of the Central Executive Committee retreat, that the first retreat session of the fourth Central Executive Committee was held between the 17th and the 19th December 2021 under the theme Mobilization for Socio-economic Transformation. The retreat received, considered, and adopted by way of resolution the strategic guidance by His Excellency, the National Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, and also President of the Republic of Uganda, on how the party must carry out mobilization of the community. All the party members and friends have been guided to correctly identify the legitimate interests of the different groups of the people and supporting these interests by fighting for them and with them with the ultimate objective of solving their problems. The mobilization mission of the National Resistance Movement will entail the following processes: identification, highlighting, fighting for, and where able, supporting the legitimate interests of the different community groups, and where necessary, opposing the illegitimate interests of the perpetrators of those illegitimate interests of the community. The National Resistance Movement in its formative stages in the early 60s set the record straight by opposing the then bad politics of religion based on sectarianism, gender chauvinism, selfishness, and greed on the part of the privileged classes. His Excellency, the President and the Chairman of the party, guided on the following strategic interests of the people. The strategic needs of the people for which the party secretariat will base its mobilization are: 1, we are supposed to sensitize the population to abandon subsistence farming to join commercial farming. 2, we are supposed to decampaign land fragmentation exacerbated by cultural inheritance practices. 3, we are supposed to resist land evictions and work for security of tenure for the community. 4, we are supposed to champion free education at all levels in government schools through ensuring total implementation of respectively the universal primary education and universal secondary education. Children should go and study for free without being charged any money. The parents are charged with the responsibilities of providing scholastic materials for their children, but no school must charge children additional fees as directed by the chairman and the president of the Republic of Uganda. We are supposed to ensure zero tolerance to all kinds and manners of crime, including corruption, drug abuse, terrorism, rape, robbery, defilement, murder, theft of drugs in health centers. These are directives to all the party leaders and party structures and leaders in government. Number 6, we are supposed to support policies that guarantee cheap electricity and low cost of transportation. 7, support regional integration of African Common Market and Political Federation of East Africa to guarantee a big market and strategic security for our people and the people of the Great Lakes region. Last, we are supposed to support policies that promote industrialization, because through industrialization we can create jobs and we can widen our tax base. So industrialization, and we are requesting and we are saying all districts should mark land for industrial park so that we create jobs for the many young people who are educated and are looking for jobs. The ultimate mobilization message for the national resistance movement will be to re-energize the grassroots community households, to create wealth, to deal with wealth creation issues, and to promote processing and distribution of goods and services. The national resistance movement will henceforth oppose all anti-people practices, parasites rather, who want to eat food and wealth without working. You have to work if you want to eat. If you're a parasite who just benefit from corruption and grabbing from where you have not put, the party is coming for you. We are not going to tolerate corruption tendencies. So we keep warning those who are bent to corruption practices. A copy of the detailed 15-point resolution of the first retreat session of the 4th Central Executive Committee is here attached for your ease of reference as the media house. On national by-elections, as you're already aware, the Independent Electoral Commission held a countrywide by-election on the 15th and 16th December 2021. These by-elections were to fill up positions of about 800 positions in 591 delineated electoral areas covering 124 districts, including 12 municipalities and 470 sub-counties respectively, positions respectively. Leaders elected included chairpersons, directly elected councillors, women councillors, and councillors representing special interest groups at different positions, political levels rather. As expected, the national resistance movement performed excellently in the by-elections. While we await for the final declaration this has been overtaken by then. The National Resistance Movement performed exceedingly well in all these elections of the local government that was conducted. Out of 827 positions declared countrywide, the NRM secured 392 positions unopposed, making it 47%. Others who featured as unopposed were independent, who got 26 positions. And most of these independents were independent who are affiliated to NRM party. The FDC got 3 positions and NUP 1 position. These are positions that were filled unopposed. Out of 800, the NRM dominance of the local government in the last by-election cycle made it possible to build consensus around our candidates. The overall performance in 127 districts across the country were as follows. The National Resistance Movement, NRM, got 678 leaders elected within the structures of local government, which makes it at 82%. Those candidates who contested on independent ticket, and many of them were NRM though, got 103 positions, and that formed 12%. NUP got only 13 positions, and that put them at 2%. FDC, surprisingly, this time defeated NUP in the by-elections of local government. What a surprise. That they got 19 positions, and that puts them also at 2-point-something%. UPC and DP, they are very comfortable at always being the last, and they are very comfortable, they're not complaining. Each of them got 7 positions. We thank them for participating. The by-elections for the Kayunga district local government elections has attracted a lot of media attention because of the hype given to it by those who lost the election. To many of our friends, when we don't speak, it's like we don't have what to say, but we just laugh. Elections are not held or conducted to make NUP or FDC win. Elections are held so that parties compete. And when we compete, results are declared, winners are announced. People should not come and start crying foul. We went to Kayunga. We knew our weaknesses as a party, which were not mainly opposition. Our weaknesses were internal, and we concentrated in working on our internal challenges. And that was how we defeated NUP in Kayunga. Kayunga had about 300 and plus polling stations. Some of these polling stations, NUP, which is now crying foul, did not even have polling agents. We are aware of this. They defeated us in a few town councils, we are aware, and we are not challenging them. So why should they cry when we defeat them? Every time we defeat NUP or FDC or DP, they cry that elections has been rigged. But when they defeat us, they expect us to be quiet. We have defeated them massively in the many local government elections, not only in Kayunga. So they should accept to plan better next time. You will recall that during the campaign, the National Unity Platform had told the country that they would win by over 90% of the votes that will be cast. They believe that the so-called wave that they saw would make them gain during the last presidential and parliamentary election. But unfortunately, the NRM defeated them at the presidential election. They even went to court. They realized they did not have any ground. They withdrew the petition that they'd taken to court. We defeated them at parliamentary level. We defeated them at local government level. In the by-election, we keep defeating them. So they should stop crying. Most importantly, the National Resistance Movement has been able to reconcile the internal contradictions within to take charge of their own mobilization. Our biggest weakness as a party is internal, not external. NUP is not our threat, DP is not our threat, UPC is not our threat, FDC is not our threat, not even JEMA, not even PPP. Our threats are mainly internal, and this emanates from how we conduct our internal structure elections. There are a lot of interest in the party, there are a lot of candidates we always have in the party, and when they compete, they contest with one another, they find it difficult to reconcile when we go to the main election. And these tensions and these breakaway affects us even when we go to the main election. So as a party, we are working so hard. One, to ideologically prepare our leaders that elections are not a do or die. The more we reconcile internally, the more we keep our house intact, the better we perform. So NUP is not our threat because they don't match NRM in capacity, forms, and substance. The same with FDC. We have been running with FDC for a long time. BSJ 1, BSJ 2, BSJ 3, BSJ 4. Now I hear BSJ has launched a red card. I don't know whether it's red card, and it's giving ultimatum that in 2 weeks' time, service delivery must be improved. You wonder where people really understand some of these things. Service delivery, you want it to be improved in 2 weeks. Some of these leaders behave like children who cry for sweet when their parents are thinking of their school fees. We are thinking of more serious issues, not small, petty issues. His Excellency, the National Chairperson, also greatly swayed the votes in favor of the National Resistance Movement flag bearer. When he came to Kayunga, when the president came to Kayunga, we only conducted 2 meetings. We invited our leaders at the village level because that is where the votes are. As NUP was parading in trading centers, we went to the village. So we invited our party structures at the villages. And when the chairman of the party spoke to them, they went back home and reconciled. And that was why the result of the vote became the way it came, it turned out. On item 4, on the regional outreach program, the National Resistance Movement Secretariat in October 2021 launched its community outreach program with a 2-day mobilization activities in Bukedi sub-region, comprising the districts of Budaka, Busia, Butaleja, Butebo, Kibuku, Palisa, Tororo, and Tororo County, respectively. The outreach programs targeted the following categories of NRM. 1, district executive committee members, flag bearers and members of parliament, flag bearers of the district local chairpersons, flag bearers for district women council chairpersons, flag bearers for district youth councils, flag bearers for municipal mayors, flag bearers for sub-county chairpersons, mainstream, flag bearers for sub-county youth chairpersons, and district administrative secretaries, district electoral officials. This outreach mobilization program, whose main purpose was to politically and administratively reconnect with the leaders of the party at the district and grassroots, had the following specific objectives. 1, to carry out a message of goodwill and encouragement from the party leadership and thank them for overwhelmingly voting for the National Resistance Movement Party in the last general election. 2, to promote cohesion and unity of purpose through mindset change. We encourage our leaders not to stick to enmity. You are in a political party for a purpose. You are not in a political party for your selfish interests. If the people decide to vote for somebody else other than you, work with that person. Don't fight the person. Don't fight your colleague in the same party. 3, to reawaken the party leadership on their respective roles, duties, and responsibilities as leaders of a mass political organization that is in government, including effective monitoring of government programs. To interest and prepare our leaders to mobilize the communities to participate in strategic government programs such as the parish development model. We even amended and proposed in the Central Executive Committee that our leaders, if a law is presented to government by the Minister of Local Government and the Attorney General, our leaders at LC1 level will be ex-official members of the LC1 executive. Our leaders at the parish level will be the same at parish level. Our leaders at the sub-counties will be ex-official members of the sub-county councils. Our leaders at the district will be ex-official members of the district council. Being an ex-official member does not mean the local government will pay them salary. No, they are there as observers of how local government are implementing our manifesto at no cost. So people should not worry that adding our leaders into the local government structure will make local government structure be costly. No, these leaders are going there as observers, as ex-officials in the council. On item 5, the NRM Ideological Clinic is about diagnosis of society challenges and prescription of the correct and or appropriate medicine or solution to the diagnosis challenges of society. The National Resistance Movement Secretariat recognizes that ideology is the religion of the party and should thus form the core of its mobilization. Consequently, the Secretariat has initiated a weekly ideological clinic, which is mainly targeting the young generation and equipping them with the appropriate tools of analysis so that they can better participate in the socio-economic transformation of Uganda. The weekly ideological clinics was launched on Thursday, the 16th September 2021, and has since been held every Thursday starting 3:30 p.m. The clinic, which is aired and transmitted in the public through mainly the social media outlets such as WhatsApp, Zoom, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, has so far attracted a very huge and promising followers, especially among the young people and among our members in the diaspora. Every Thursday, we get more than 15,000 people following our clinic. We use these clinics to empower our members to keep in touch with the young people, to remind them about the call of leadership, about the duty of a leader, about the changing dynamics of society, and how leaders should think in a way society thinks. If nature is not static, why should a leader's mind be static? A leader's mind should change and move with the changing times and the changing dynamics. So these clinics are helping us to prepare, to mentor our young leaders as they prepare to partake leadership positions. And through this, we have been able to secure positions in many of the guild elections that are taking place in universities. Because we prepare our candidates, we prepare our leaders, and they go to contest among their peers when they're informed. The Secretariat is in consultation with the view of generating an appropriate syllabus, not only for the ideological clinic, but also countrywide mass mobilization, especially targeting the young people and those who could have missed out of the protracted journey of the national resistance movement. These clinics, we are going to transform them into syllabus that we do the foundational lectures, we do the ideological preparation, and then we take our members through the challenges of leadership and how a leader should change society. The quest for community transformation is not as simple as others think. It's a process. Rural transformation is not a one-day event. It is not like what Dr. Beste said that in 2 weeks' time I want to see results. No, it's gradual. It's a process which takes consistency, commitment, and dedication It is not an event, it's a process. Number 6, consultative meeting with NRM district chairperson. As part of its mobilization strategy, the National Resistance Movement Secretariat on the 8th of December 2021 held a consultative meeting with all the National Resistance Movement district chairpersons. The main purpose of this meeting was to share with the district leaders the tasks and challenges that the party must discuss and address in the socio-economic transformation process. The leaders expressed their appreciation for the activities being done at the party secretariat, and they also thanked the national chairman for providing logistical support to our structures at the grassroots. The chairman of the party provided bicycles to all our party chairmen at the village level, provided bicycles to all our parish chairmen, provided motorcycles to all our sub-county chairmen. We are yet to do more for our district chairmen. Those ones now should have vehicles. At that level, they should have vehicles. And the party chairman and the party is mobilizing resources to make sure we give vehicles to our party chairmen. These resources, as directed by SEC, had to help in mobilization of the party, to help the office holder do his or her work in the village, in the parish, or at the sub-county level, or at the district level. Item 7, legal matters. As of 18th of October 2021, the party had a total of 64 court petitions which were filed for and against the NRM candidate position in the 2021 general elections in different high courts of Uganda. We had 27 petitions which were filed by NRM candidates, in brackets flag bearers, and then we had 37 petitions that were filed against the NRM flag bearers by other members of the society. To date, a total of 50 judgments have been handed down by the High Court, of which 31 judgments have been in favor of NRM flag bearers, while 19 judgments were made against the NRM flag bearers. 14 petitions remain due for judgment. However, it is important to note that out of the 19 positions decided against the NRM candidates, 10 were decided on merit, while 5 were decided on technical point of law, and 2 were withdrawn by the NRM candidates. With regards to district local government chairpersons LC5, 14 petitions have been filed and are at various stages of hearing. In conclusion, we thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the Chairman of the Revolutionary Party, for always standing firm and guiding the country and the party and mentoring many young people. We thank him so much and we wish him good health and a Merry Christmas with his family. Much as the National Resistance Movement government has been on top of COVID-19 global pandemic over the last 2 years, the extent that the economy will be open in January, 2022, the emergence of the first spreading Omicron variant dictates that we must continue to strictly observe the standard operating procedures as guided by His Excellency the President and the Minister of Health. There is a new COVID variant in town called Omicron virus. We need to be very, very careful. It is spreading, it's already in the country. Members should observe SOPs until we again defeat it the way we defeated the others. I also would like to thank the Central Executive Committee of the party and the structures of the party for working so hard and in collaboration with the party secretariat in making sure that the party remains dominant at all levels. We thank you and appreciate you so much. I sincerely thank my colleagues that I've worked with closely for a long time at the party head office. Here in the press conference, I have the Director of Mobilization, Honorable Rosemary Seninde, a very thorough mobilizer and a very vocal person, as you know. I have with me my sister, Honorable Jackie Chichwaire. I have got that name right now. A very powerful politician from Chigezi and also a serious mobilizer. I have with me Comrade Honorable Emmanuel Dombo, an elder, and is always in the media with you. And he's a very vibrant young man. He's not old, he's very young. He's ideologically very young. And then Comrade Oscar Kiika, the Director Legal, plus those that are not here with us. My Deputy Honorable Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Rose Namayanjan Sereko, the National Treasurer, Honorable Barbara Oundo Nekesa, and all the leadership of the party. The Electoral Commission, headed by Dr. Tanga Odoi. We thank the collaboration we have in the party and the cohesion, the unity that the party is exhibiting. It is making us work so well. And throughout the year, we have been working so well. And so we thank so much the spirit that we have exhibited as members of the Secretariat. Finally, I'd like to thank you, members of the Fourth Estate, the media. You have made it easier for us to communicate our interests and agenda. And we thank you for always communicating and coming to attend to us whenever we call on you. Please keep in touch and remain focused. I thank you. If there are a few questions, I can respond to the questions, and then we close the press briefing. Thank you so much.